Now my next guest is Adam Griffiths. Hello, how are you?
Very good, thank you.
Adam, Colourful Conversations. Let's have a colourful conversation. What exactly is that?
So Colourful Conversations was born out of Brown Brothers' 125th year birthday celebration. So it's all about representing their DNA, this idea of conversations over wine and food, and this idea of Brown Brothers celebrating wine and everyone's individual taste. So everyone's got a unique taste and everyone has their own wine that they like.
And why did they bring you in? Tell me about the background to this, because the Brown Brothers is an iconic Australian brand. So what is it that they needed to do to even start this colourful conversation?
So I suppose they had a physical execution that they had in mind, which was bringing together a group of makers around Australia, all bloggers, and producing a sort of showpiece film where all these makers would bring their chosen kind of area together, so food, wine, ceramics, into a sort of dining setting, and they wanted to then translate that online and also allow consumers to approach wine in a different way. So our execution to that was this idea of a wine mood wheel, so allowing people to choose wine in a different way. So instead of the traditional kind of red or white, fruity or dry, the idea was that you'd choose your wine based on your mood.
And this is because we sort of lack generally a bit of education about what wine is. So it's trying to find a way through rebranding, which is what you're doing, to kind of communicate what can sometimes be a bit of a scary experience for some people, to make it more approachable. So that's right. Pretty much what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, the research that we found was that people would go into a Dan Murphy's or their local cellar and see all these wines and have no idea what the difference between a Merlot or a Cab Sav or a Sauvignon Blanc or a Pinot Gris. They tend to just go with what they're used to, or they'd recognise a brand, or they'd recognise a nice shiny colourful label and choose that one and hope for the best.
Or something with a star on it or a gold star. That's it. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, the awards was always a big thing. So we wanted to change that up, especially for the younger audience. Try and give them a way to explore different types of wines. Brown Brothers is known for their fruity wines, especially the Moscato, Sienna, Moscato being one of the most popular white wines in Australia. Really wanted to encourage those consumers to think beyond Moscato, that there's more to life than just Moscato. And so the mood wheel kind of gave them that opportunity to say, well, if you're in a romantic mood, perhaps you might want to try a Durif or something else.
But for a wine brand that does have an established reputation, to try and take on a new approach, something that is kind of out of the ordinary, I suppose. And I mean, again, wine is often sort of associated with luxury. So to try and change that into a sort of a different thing, what is it that Brown Brothers had to do to sort of to allow themselves to go there, to challenge themselves to do that?
Yeah, really good question. I think the challenge from a digital perspective was bringing this experience somewhat away from the main brand. So Brown Brothers, as you say, it's got that sort of luxury feel. It's got that tradition, and we wanted the Colourful Conversations digital experience to, I suppose, target a younger audience and have a different feel, and offer these sort of unique digital experiences, the mood wheel, but also these conversation cards, and these are the props that I've got here with me today. So there's sort of a physical execution of these cards. This example of what's the craziest thing you ever did for love.
So the idea, Adam, is that you take this card home. There's the digital experience, as we know, but this is the physical manifestation of it. You take this home and you can kind of have a nice cheeky drink with your partner and have a bit of fun at the same time. So it's making it more than just simply opening a bottle and pouring wine into it. It's a full experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So the idea is that you're at a dinner party and you're able to pass these cards around and I suppose enliven the conversation. And through digital, we're able to engage customers from wherever they are, whether it's on a mobile device or a laptop or a tablet. One of the favourite answers that we found on the website was to the question of what's your greatest fear, and a lady called Fiona replied with Tony Abbott winning the next election. Which I thought that was rather nice.
Not going to happen now. Is there anyone else in Australia, at least, doing something like this, trying to create more than just the act of having a glass of wine or a bottle of wine?
From my understanding, I haven't seen anyone trying to do a similar thing to what Brown Brothers have done. There has been an example with Lindemans where they have followed a similar idea to our mood wheel, to allow people to, I suppose, move through their range and do that in a different way. But that idea of sort of approaching wine as something that is so dependent on who you're with, your feeling at the time, and what you want to try and achieve. So in the mood wheel, what we offered to end users was this idea of a natural language form. So instead of having a traditional kind of fill out fields, it was positioned in a sentence format. So I'd like to dine out with my other half at a fine dining restaurant, for example, and then it would give you sort of some wines that would go well with that particular mood.
Was it an enjoyable experience for you?
We loved working with Brown Brothers on this. They were really keen to explore sort of new ways, rather than just sort of producing a website and a blog and spinning out sort of recipes and style tips. They wanted to provide a different digital experience. And I think the challenge when it comes to digital is that you don't know how long something is going to take or if something's achievable until you actually try it, because so much of what we do hasn't been done before. So Brown Brothers were really generous in giving us the time to explore how we could implement the mood wheel, and they really trusted us in following us through a prototyping phase and through to the execution and testing that with real end users.
Do you think this is going to be, I hate to use the term, but a game changer? Do you think that this will therefore translate across into not just other wine companies, but in other similar type of sort of food, beverage products?
I hope so. I hope that wine can be more accessible for the younger audience, and it's not something that is only applicable to those that can pay the money for it or drink it every week. And I think that idea of ways of approaching wine selection can hopefully keep changing and evolving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to hear about it.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Adam Griffiths, thank you.